Hi there, well this is Jason. I'm going to give you a rather quick whirlwind tour of one of the kinds of resources that I develop for English Raven based around news articles, and give you some tips on how perhaps you could explore doing some of these things yourself. This first video is basically the teacher version, like if you're actually going to produce this material yourself. Now, looking at the first two pages here, this is a recent set of articles and materials that I put up on World News for Kids. Basically, on the first page here, you can see we've got an article with a heading and a picture. Now, you know, that's pretty straightforward stuff, whether it's stuff you copy off the internet or compose for yourself. I would generally recommend that you actually sort of write them yourself to some degree so that you can, you know, sort of make sure that they're at the level that your learners can cope with. So you may need to be able to adapt that content. It's good to be able to include a pic of some sort, and also it's good if you can actually record the story yourself. Now, there may be access to audio of the news story, I'm not sure, but you know, again, in order to get it at a level and a pace with the pronunciation that your learners can cope with, it's good to have a recorded version of this article and somewhere to store it somewhere online with a manageable URL. Whether you shorten the URL or not, you know, that's sort of it's up to you, but it's good if you have a sort of accessible, clear URL with a recorded version of that article that you've chosen. Then we can follow that up with some reading skills. We can pull out some words from the article. The simplest way I find is just to choose some good words from the article that you'd like them to learn and have them translate. Either write it down what they mean in English and or their mother language. Then we can have some reading questions. It's good to have a combination of multiple choice but also more open questions to get the learners thinking a little bit more, to create a little bit more variation in the answers that are possible. Now we'll move on to the follow-ups to the article and the reading. I always include a news extra, as you can see here, and basically it takes a common theme or common topic based on the news article, and then it expands it. So in my original article here, it was about a Lego tower being built by children, and now I've got a sort of background text about the history of the Lego company. In another set of materials, you know, it was about a shark research or something, and then I talked a little bit about sharks. Another one was about hybrid cars, a new development in hybrid cars, so the follow-up listening was an explanation of what hybrid cars are. And then we can put in some gap fills here. At this level, it's fairly simple. We can put the missing words in to help them to some degree if we want. And it's always good just to make sure that they're actually thinking a bit about this material, so you can have a true or false section that follows. Following up from that, we've done a lot of reading, we've done a lot of listening. It's good to get the learners talking now. So this is the talk time follow-up, and I continue with the thread or the idea from the original articles, and I make a sort of conversation based around that with two kids. And it's the same conversation, but I put it into two formats, person A, person B, so that we can have two students go away with this script, and you know, they can practice it at home. Basically, the reading and the listening that we did here would probably take easily one first lesson. So we're now getting into the follow-up aspects of the lesson, which would probably happen on the next day or the next lesson. So it's good to be able to actually give two students in your class a copy of this, and then they can actually take it home and prepare it so that when they come into the next class, they can actually deliver this dialogue together in front of the class. They've prepared for it. And what we've got here is a range of follow-up questions that they then ask the class to see what they've picked up or what they understand about the conversation. So we're actually getting the learners to actually deliver this dialogue, but also to quiz the rest of the class about that dialogue. So we've gone from reading into listening, and now we're going into follow-up with talking, and I will continue in the next video to see how we can explore this even more.